Hello and welcome back, and today let's break down the new Fallout trailer that has released. And the first thing I have to say is I was completely right. I have made two previous videos about Fallout Season 2 and both videos were correct. Yes, the Brotherhood will be having a civil war. This trailer shows us that that will be Maximus's plot in the first few episodes, and we have confirmed now with this trailer which ending is canon, with Mr. House appearing in the present timeline with him being on the screen and the Ghoul being there. So we know which ending's canon now, and we know that the Brotherhood will indeed have a civil war. And I called that ages ago, so I'm quite proud of myself for calling that from just the teasers alone. Also in this trailer, I do have to say, it gives away way too much. I think I've just realised what the plot line for all the storylines are. Before I talk about that, I will talk about some few little things. One, we see the kings are now zombified, so they're now ghouls, so something bad's happening in Freeside. We know this community is still around, but it's not as good, just like Vegas has kind of fallen. We also see rad scorpions, really cool, so we're getting more than just the death claws in this season. And before I talk about the three storylines which I think are being set up in this trailer, we also have to mention there is a voiceover at some point halfway through the trailer. It was black screen. I originally thought it was a super mutant, and I talked to somebody and they were like, it could be Brotherhood. And then I went back and rewatched some clips, and the Brotherhood in Power Armor sound different. It's more echoey and it's clearly a speaker. So this voiceover is a super mutant, and apparently I'm really good at guessing what's going to be in season 2, so this is my guess, my prediction. We will see super mutants at some point in season 2. Maybe they'll go to Jacobstown in the northwest part of the Mojave Wasteland. That would be really cool. We know they're not going straight to New Vegas. They're going to take kind of what the Courier 6 did and go around the south. They're not going up to Quarry Junction. We better see Quarry Junction. This trailer also has us see what's happened to Thaddeus. He's clearly not becoming a ghoul. In this trailer we see he's growing an extra mouth, he's losing his hair. He is not becoming a ghoul, and I don't think he's becoming a super mutant anymore. I think he could be becoming something like a centaur, maybe, from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. It could be anything, but he's no longer becoming a ghoul, so that's what I think is happening. I'm really surprised he's a big role in this trailer, because we see him with Maximus in the start, we see him in the big, almost group lineup at the end of the trailer, so it seems he's a mega character, or a more important character in this season. And the last thing I want to point out before we talk about the plot lines, which I've completely guessed now because we've seen too much, is that we now know who Macaulay Culkin's playing, or we already knew because everyone saw the back of his head in the last teaser and they lined up the back of his head in real life and they're like, that's him. Yes, it's confirmed he plays a member of the Caesar's Legion, probably the new Caesar, which is really, really cool, and it's another thing that everyone's just guessed on Fallout. Now let's talk about the major plot lines. So we're going to talk about the ones that are obviously clear. We will have, maybe through the first half of most of this season, Maximus by himself dealing with the Brotherhood civil war. But the trailer has showed that that's not the entire season, because we know that Maximus will end up in Freeside with the Ghoul and Thaddeus by the end of the season in the Ranger Power Armor. We know this is the Ranger Power Armor, not them just trying to splice it together, because the way he looks inside the armor is different to Brotherhood Power Armor, so it's clear that he is indeed inside that Power Armor fighting the Deathclaw. And I think because we know he's in this new armor and he won't be with the Brotherhood in the final episode, I think by the end of the season he will defect from the Brotherhood. We know the Brotherhood's having a civil war. I think the Brotherhood is going to be destroyed or weakened by the end of the season. The whole point of this TV show has been made clear. It is about the rise of the NCR again. So they have to weaken the Brotherhood in this season because it's not their show. They are this kind of antagonist at times. So this will be the last big Brotherhood season, I think. I think they will always have a presence because Bethesda really like using the Brotherhood. But I think this is them at their power and their height. By the end of the season, they will be a smaller faction, leaving room for the NCR to return. And I think by the end of this season, Maximus will be defected from the Brotherhood and potentially join the NCR. We know he's going to end up in NCR Power Armor, so it looks like that's what they're doing with Maximus. I also have to mention, I think I already know why the Civil War is happening. It was teased in Season 1, but I think the reason the Civil War is starting is because I think near the start of the season, the Brotherhood will end up going to the Mojave. they will end up taking this military base we see here, and I think this military base is controlled by Mr. House. We see Brotherhood fighting Protectrons and the security bots. I think that they're going to take the security bots out, they're going to have this giant base, they're going to get a bunch of power, and this will lead to two factions happening and the Civil War. So I think Mr. House is going to be really important to the Brotherhood storyline too, and him losing a battle is going to lead to the Brotherhood then starting a civil war over who should actually have this power and what they're going to do with this power. And moving on to the Lucy storyline, it's clear she's not in this lineup at the end, and this is what I think is going to happen. At the start of the season, it will be about them travelling to New Vegas. So they are going to do the Courier 6 route. We know they're going along to different places. We're definitely going to see Nipton maybe and Novak. We already know Novak's in this season. And I think they're going to get to New Vegas about halfway through the season, and that's when they will see the Death Claw. And then they'll be pushed out of New Vegas until the final episode, and they'll spend a lot of time in Freeside. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think this Death Claw is mind controlled by Hank. In this trailer, we see Hank working on this little rat, and it dies. He says, try again. I think this happens quite early in the season, and by the time Lucy and the Ghoul get there, he successfully mind controlled a Death Claw. And I think this Death Claw in Freeside and the Strip is Hank's guard dog, stopping anyone from getting in so he can continue to do his experiments. And I think this battle at the end is just a distraction to kill the Deathclaw while Lucy sneaks into New Vegas to kill her dad. And that's what I think is going on in this scene, and that's what I think the whole build-up of this season will be. It will be about they've been pushed out in New Vegas, they gotta kill this Deathclaw to get back in, and Lucy is not in that fight because she's sneaking in to kill Hank herself. I don't think he's gonna survive. I think season 2 is about making Lucy more like the Ghoul and the Ghoul more like Lucy. So I think Lucy is gonna do his dark turn and kill Hank. And now the final storyline is with Norm. And I'm surprised we're seeing much of him, but this trailer has shown us what the storyline is. Norm is going to wake everyone up in Vault 31, he's going to make them come outside because he can't get back to Vault 33, he's going to go into Vault 33 from the main entrance, and it might take a couple episodes, but once he's in there, we see people who are part of Vault 31 running, like the woman in the wedding dress. I think he's going to go in there, he's going to reveal what Vault 31 is, and there's going to be some sort of civil war in the vaults as well. And that's his storyline, to take out the Vault 31ers. We can see some Vault 31 members running, and we know they do leave the vault. Maybe they don't even make it back in, maybe Norm leaves, he's like, this is the world you made, and just hides. I don't know what he's going to do with all those people, but I do think that by the end of the season, Norm's basically going to be Overseer, and he's basically going to lead these people to a new world. They might leave the vault, or they're going to kick out everyone who is a part of Vault 31, in my opinion. And that is the trailer. And do you think I'm missing anything, or do you think I'm looking too deep into this and I'm completely wrong with these Easter eggs, these mentions, what they're going to do? Do you think I'm completely wrong with Norm? I think Norm's one is the most reading between the lines. I think it's pretty obvious what they're doing with Maximus and what they're doing with Lucy, and that Deathclaw I definitely do believe is mind controlled by Hank. I think that's all more obvious than the Norm stuff. So please tell me down below, what do you think? Are you excited? Can you wait just over a month for season 2? Please tell me down in the comments. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.